So last but not least, we'll wrap up quickly with our very own skincare confessions.
All right, guys, we are going to wrap our 100th episode with some juicy, true chemist confessions. This is where Gloria and I are going to share maybe some unpopular things about us and our skincare routine habits or general feels about skincare that might go against all the science we talk about.
Yes.
So I'll go ahead and get started. And I think this is one I have mentioned before, but we just talked about how we love talking about vitamin C and there's all this juicy data, it's historical, da-da-da-da. And I think my chemist confession here is that after many years of using ascorbic acid, I still don't know if I see any benefits. And I guess this is just a religion at this point. I'm just, the belief of prevention. And, if prevention means that nothing should change, right? So that's really in it. I don't see the hyperpigmentation benefits. I still have pigmentation. So I don't know. This is that one where it's like, I know, it's contrary to popular belief.
I think that's we kind of briefly talked about this before, and it is the nature of a good antioxidant, right? And the difficulty of this category. To date, ascorbic acid is still a gold standard because it's been through a lot of tests to validate. We have mentioned this before, and it is one of the most difficult things to talk about with antioxidant is if it works, it should work well as age prevention. Therefore, what do you see really? So a lot of successful antioxidants, it needs to have that secondary benefits where, a month or two in, you see maybe something a little brighter, maybe wrinkles feel a little diminished, and you have the belief and motivation to keep going. For me, ascorbic acid does give the brightening power that that helps me keep going and stay consistent with it, especially postpartum. I don't have the postpartum pigmentation that a lot of women have, but I have a little bit of it. Oh, yeah. It's very common. So it's extra common for Asians, apparently. But for me, the vitamin C does help. But for people like Victoria, where she doesn't really see even the brightening benefit, it really turns into I trust in the science. This is going to pay out in 10, 15 years, right? Right, guys? Right?
Yeah. So definitely let us know your thoughts and during your vitamin C use history. But yeah, that's my first confession. What about you, Gloria? What are you starting off with?
I'm going to follow up with another heavy hitting active, and that is niacinamide. For me, niacinamide is that guy that I'm like, I don't know what it does for me, but it's a great... It's a great pairing. If I remove it completely from my routine, will I be suffering? Probably not.
And I have to be honest. I think that's also our feels on the testing side a little bit. It's like, there's a lot of actually pretty random data on niacinamide. And so in our Skincare Decoded book, right, niacinamide is one of the big four here.
Yeah.
And that's because of the actives out there that there is a lot of testing behind it. But I think it can be very random. And I think of the four, I have to say if I were to have to leave one behind, I think Gloria and I would agree that, niacinamide is that one. It's like, in some ways it's true. Jack of all trades, master of none. And so we think it's great as that supporting active in any product. But, if you're solely relying on niacinamide to do the heavy lifting, I think that's where Gloria and I are like, So
yeah, actually how we use it in our line kind of sums up how we feel about it too. We use it at
a true reveal.
Exactly. We have it at 2%, like kind of that baseline, it will give you some benefit level in Mr. Reliable, but this is not the one we go out talking about, Mr. Reliable has 2% niacinamide. It's there to support your barrier. That's it.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to end on one last chemist confession. And I know we talk about washing your face, right? And I think my reveal here is that, I'm going to be very honest, during the postpartum newborn phase, never have I realized more that if there were one step to go out the window, it was washing my face. And I know a lot of people are like, yeah, but when you're sleep deprived and you're not really going outside because you're tethered to a life, that's very helpless and needs all the help it can get. I did not wash my face that frequently. And I think that's just something I'd actually like to share with everyone is I know it sounds horrific, but I think it's the most honest I can be in that, it happens to even me too, guys, that there's going to be months where this kind of just gets forgotten. And I think one of our fairy godmother esthetician, Angela, is like screaming right now because she's the one that has to do a few extractions on me. And she's like, oh, dear God, I am not prepared for the next time I see her.
Yeah. I think, side confession, I think I did end up washing my face. It's all a blur right now. But recently, just a couple days ago, I finally felt like I have some downtime. Baby seems passed out. I'm like, I need a me time. I'm going to put a sheet mask on. And then, of course, babies.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. And then
Good for
babies
you.
can sense that. So then she started screaming. So I was like, oh, okay, let me go pick you up. And then you just feel so really frazzled. You have this mask on. You pick up the baby, and the mask drips onto her screaming mouth. And you're like, that can't be good for the baby. Oh, my God. It's just
Chaos.
It was a mess.
Yep. Well, good for you. At least you got me time, Gloria. That is super important.
Yeah. As far as my routine confession goes, is I have dry skin, so this seems extra bad, but I take unbelievably scorching hot showers. I am not happy unless I come out a very, medium rare shade of red. and my
you gotta feel like you're burning the germs off, right?
Yes.
You got a little bit of that singe.
Yeah, and when I shower, when I get used to the temperature, I kind of dial it up just a little bit more. I'm like, ooh, I need the heat and the steam. And my husband's horrified on the outside, like, oh my God, why are you cooking yourself? It can't be that good for me.
I agree with that.
Yep.
I don't know, Gloria, any last confessions? Those are the main three that I have for myself.
I think for me, I have two little ones. One is my routine, and we've shared this countless times. Our personal routine is pretty simple. One of the biggest questions we get, and we constantly help people on this, is people will come to us with their product list and ask us to kind of put some logic behind layering, different actives, how to take advantage of all the products and whatnot. And I think we have a pretty good system. We have a lot of logic around how we will layer 5 to 8 products and whatnot. I myself cannot and will not stay consistent unless it's 3 and under. and it's pretty bad. And the thing is, given what we do, we have to test products all the time. So for me, a lot of new products, sometimes I have a really hard time doing it for at least a couple months before, we create a reel or we talk about it on the podcast with like my real feelings about using it for X number of months. And that's it. It's just because it feels like there's no time. And also the motions get more and more like casual the later the layers go. Like by the time, if I'm having a 6-step routine by last step, I'm like, whatever, slap it on, like call it a day. So not good with the routine.
No, I think that's a really good point. And all that to say, mad respect to you guys that have more than 4, and I think that, the true reveal is that we're kind of lazy souls when it comes to skincare, and that works best for us, right? Because for us, I believe more than anything after reading all the science is that consistency overall is what truly gets results. So if those quality 3 steps, that is going to reign supreme versus, the 6 or 8 jazzy products we're going to try to squeeze in. So it's true. And that goes for both of us. I am just as much what am I trying to say? I'm just as much a culprit of that as Gloria.
And I have one last confession. It's less of a confession than a aspiration for the year, which is my body care is non-existent. It's horrific. It's that meme we saw a long time ago is totally true. Like here on up, you're like, protecting it.
You're like an infant.
Yeah, neck and up, the sunscreen, the actives, the delicate care that you put through. Neck down, it's like a wasteland of products. I put lotion. I used to be someone that I put lotion on when I noticed like flashy skin. Yeah, I'm like, oh no, I'm flaking. Okay, I'll put some lotion on it. It's pretty bad. But now postpartum, I'm looking all changes. I'm like, okay, it's time. It's time to apply all the knowledge here.
I'm going to say I totally agree with this. And specifically, it's for my neck area. And I don't know if it's because, like, while pregnant, I was forced to sleep certain ways, right? And somehow, like, I don't know what I was doing, if I was, like, scrunching my neck while sleeping, but it's really enforced some lateral wrinkles going on.
Yeah.
And I've never, like, witnessed, I guess, I just feel like I haven't noticed them now, and now I can't like unsee it. So that is something where the neck area lately has been like, I'm like, oh my God, it's just not good.
Yeah, for me, it's extra dryness, and I'm also not blessed with the genes that spares you from stretch marks. So I'm like, time to do that research.
Yeah.